Welcome everybody to another edition of One Take Only. I'm George Phillips with OilPressure.com. This is my semi-friend John McClellan.
Hey, George.
And we're by ourselves again. The last two shows we've done, we've had guests, but it's just you and me today. And
We had a great guest too last time, DZ.
no.
Why your wife? I'm going to talk about before.
Yeah, David Zaire was in September, and then we did a Christmas show.
Then we had Pippa,
Susan and the dog Pippa.
Yeah.
But anyway, the season's upon us.
I'm so happy. It's been a long wait.
It has. I mean, it's been too long, and losing the Brazil race just made it that much longer. But enough about all season. We are now into race week.
And we've had a couple of tests.
Had a couple of tests. Had the big open test at Barber, and we got to see both aero kits in action. And I just start off. What do you think about the aero kits?
I like the aero kits. I'm going to say this. I don't think that if there's going by me, down the straightaway at Indianapolis, I'm going to be able to tell a whole lot of difference in it.
You don't.
Not really.
Well, of course, we haven't seen the oval configuration, but okay, let's say hypothetically you're at St. Pete on that main straightaway and they go by in road course configuration.
Well,
I can't tell the difference then.
Maybe I'm going to tell you what I think, though. I think that this is a great way for the manufacturers to find more separation between each other.
Well,
now, with that being said, Honda sure did have a tough time last week at Barber.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's a couple of arguments both ways. Some just say that they expect Chevy to be strong. I think Kirk Haven thought Chevy's just going to dominate based on his comments on trackside last week. But then he said he was surprised that Honda was as close as they were. Then there's the other argument that says that Honda has so many different pieces and configurations that they're just basically trying all those out, and could be that the team that really hits on those, they could really surprise some people.
Well, George, what about this? How many cars did Andretti have out last week? Three. Okay. And he couldn't find the speed with those three cars.
They had a tough time. There's no doubt about that. But then again, there's the old question: were they sandbagging?
I don't think so. I think they were going. You gotta go. You gotta figure this stuff out.
I don't agree. I think that a team like Andretti, if they haven't got it figured out right now, they're going to. But what I think is,
I think they're going to.
But what I think is that their engineering group, whoever, they're trying so many different things. I don't think they were really worried about getting close to the top of the speed charts. I think they were just trying different setups and different configurations with all the aero pieces. But then I think somebody like Graham Rahal, who does have something to prove, he was the fastest Honda from that test, and I think he was probably looking for sheer speed more than Andretti was. I am not the least bit worried about Andretti Autosport.
Well, I hope you're right, because I like Andretti, and I want to see Ryan Hunter-Reay. I like him a lot. I want to see him do real well.
Really, I didn't know that. I mean, you and your never-ending man crush.
Hey, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Indianapolis 500 reigning champion.
Did you cry last year when he won?
No, I didn't. I was just happy. Very happy, and enjoyed the race.
I was pulling for Elio in that deal.
Okay.
Hunter-Reay's been a good champion for the most part.
He's been a great champion.
So,
what about my other guy?
You've got so many.
Well, I've got two. I got two that I like a lot, and the mayor of Hinchtown.
Didn't hear that much. I think he did okay. I think that's going to be an interesting deal. I think he's without a doubt the number one guy. And he was not number one. He was not number one at Andretti. I think all things being equal, probably would have preferred to stay at Andretti. But Simon Pagenaud did pretty good in that ride. Pretty well, whatever.
Right. Good.
But there's no doubt that Hinch is number one. As I've made pretty clear. I'm not real excited about the James Jakes hiring, but whatever. That's that.
There you go.
Yeah, but I'm not expecting a ton from Sam Schmidt's team this year. I could be proven wrong. I just feel like that they may not have the resources to figure out these Aero kids like Andretti will.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure that any wins are going to come from any Hondas that are not labeled Andretti.
Okay.
But then again, that's kind of an easy statement to make, because look at the Honda teams. You got Coyne, Ray Hall, Sam Schmidt, of course Andretti.
Right.
Am I leaving anybody out?
No, I can't think of it. But I'll tell you what I think. I think you're right to a certain extent. I don't think Ray Hall's going to be a winner. They had such a tough time last year. It looks like they're going to have some tough times this year. However, if another Honda team is going to win this thing, win a race, it's going to be Sam Schmidt. They just always work hard. He's got something going on all the time. Work with hard work.
We forgot a Honda team.
Who?
AJ Foyt. Golly.
And they've got an engineer too. They got an engineer.
Yeah, but I'm.
And I like
Hawksworth,
yeah.
and of course Takuma Sato is still there. I'm going to make a prediction right now. I think this time next year, right before the 2016 season starts, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Jack Hawksworth will be in the number 14 car.
Okay. You're probably right. I think you're right.
I think overall, now Sato is fast, but he makes some curious decisions at times, and I think that Hawksworth is going to be the more consistent performer week in and week out for Foyt, and I think that they're going to get tired of paying those bills for spare parts.
Right.
And I think that Sato may find himself on the outside looking in next year.
Larry Foyt, I like that guy a lot too.
Yeah, and of course we love AJ.
We're Foyt guys.
But AJ runs that team with his heart, or ran that team with his heart. Larry Foyt, for the most part, is running that team, and he's running it more with his head.
Right, and
So-
they've had more success with Sato,
Yeah.
and I like the Hawksworth.
Yeah,
part. We'll see.
But I think that Hawksworth. I will go on a limb and say he could get a win with Honda, but I'm going to disagree with you a little bit, which I know is hard to believe. But I'm, as much as I kind of dogged Ray Hall in this past year because they had a horrible season.
Oh, it's terrible.
But I think that Ray Hall, I think Graham Ray Hall could win a race this year.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see it. That'd be great.
I would too.
I'm all for it.
I think he's shown some immaturity in the past, and I'm not hoping this just for hope's sake, but I really think that he may have turned the corner. Whether the team has, I don't know, but I think that Graham Ray Hall could surprise us this season.
I hope so. I like Graham Ray Hall a lot. I'm just going by what's been done.
Yeah, I mean, you
know.
you can't ignore history.
Yeah.
I mean, probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to Graham is to win that very first race out of the chute at St. Pete back in 2008, and everybody's thinking that's just a sign of things to come, and here we are, what are we, 7, 8 seasons later, waiting on win number 2. So
And he was in kart that year too.
Champ car.
Champ car, right?
Yeah.
Champ car, that's right.
But anyway, of course, we're on the brink of the season. Springtime is here. Didn't look like a day. By the way, we have a new location here. Hopefully, one time because it's raining in Nashville as we're recording this.
It's a little chilly.
And it's a little chilly. It doesn't feel like spring. This past weekend, Saturday was great, but it's raining. So we've been driven out from our usual locale to under the covered patio.
Which is fine. I like this brick. It reminds me of something.
I don't know what, but anyway, so we got it's race week.
Race week. Okay, so how's this thing going to fall out? What do you think?
What, the race or the season?
Well, this race and the season. This is going to be, whoever wins this race, it's the beginning of some major points to, set some stuff straight.
I'm going to really, really go out on a limb, and I haven't given this any thought other than the last 15 seconds, but I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm kidding. And say Will Power will win this way. Or let me go back. Of course, I got a 1 in 4 shot. Team Penske will win this race. They got the Chevy Aero kit, which I do think Chevy is ahead of the curve right now with their Aero kits. I did notice that at Barber, they didn't run those little winglets that popped up out of the top of the side pods.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see any teams with those, but those winglets that are on top of the wing. I read Kurt Cavan wrote that I saw Friday that he said one of the teams broke theirs just towing it out of the paddock.
Wow.
So that's.
I guess they just have to take the nose off and then tow it.
Well, I think they do that, but they probably got that belt caught and just popped it off.
Ah.
But yeah, they. I don't know which team that was, but probably a lot of the teams probably learned a lesson at their expense.
Let's talk about the drivers. Will Power. What a great champion last year, and I think he's in on it again this year, and very well could be a favorite.
I think
usually is for Indianapolis 500.
Yeah, and I think that's he's finally gotten the monkey off his back. I hate that cliche, but he's finally checked that off of his list. But the big one still remaining is the Indianapolis 500. He hasn't done all that well at Indianapolis. I think his best finish is 5th, and I'm not even 100% sure about that. But
he's always been caught up into something.
But
he needs to run up really right at the front throughout the whole race.
So I don't know. I think that's his big goal for this season.
What about Ed Carpenter? What about Ed?
Tell you what, I love the look of his car. He and Newgarden have some good looking.
Oh yeah, and I think that's a good team too.
Yeah, combining with Sarah Fisher, and they got the Chevy now instead of the Honda. I think they're going to be good. I'm really expecting to win out of Joseph Newgarden this season. I thought he was going to get one this past season, didn't do it, but I think this season with the merger with the Chevy, I think that Joseph Newgarden is going to have a breakout season this season.
I'm also going to say this too. Those two are going to wind up in the first 2 rows of the Indianapolis 500 starting grid.
Now that's a bold prediction.
That is why we're here today. Let's make some predictions.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, we are wrapping up.
Yes.
So our time is running out here. But this is the first one of these we've done since Christmas.
That's been a lot of fun too.
And I'm sure some people are happy about that. But
I hope we're
back. This is our 5th season of doing these.
I think it's fantastic.
We started this with the 2011 season.
That's great.
Here we are in 2015.
Hey, I'll tell you what though, George, it just gets me going. I'm excited about the year, and just to think about who is running out there like Newgarden. I think you're right. I think he's going to be happening. Ed, I'm just excited about that guy. I think he's going to have a great year too. They both needed an extra driver or extra team.
But anyway, anything else?
No,
in
I can't
10 seconds or less?
No.
Okay. Well, glad to be back. Happy 2015. And for John McClellan, I am George Phillips with oilpressure.com. Thank you for watching.